Welcome in the latest edition of the Big Dog Show with my guy, Marcedes Lewis of the Chicago Bears. I'm David Kaplan. It's brought to you by Ankin Law, 312-6 million for the great famous attorney Howard Ankin and the Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers. They are the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears. Try that 2024 Chevy Silverado. Okay, Big Dog, we got a lot to talk about, from the meltdown in Detroit in a winnable football game. You now have a new head football coach, Thomas Brown, on an interim basis. It's been nothing but crazy. So take us through your emotions. First, let's talk about the coaching change. Shocking to you? How do you process it in your 19th year?
First of all, what's up, my guy?
Good to be with you.
Second of all, I just feel like I'm not surprised, right? To say I'm surprised would be like it wouldn't be honest.
Right.
So no, I'm not surprised. I felt like there were numerous situations that could have led up to the final, letting go of Flus, but regardless of that situation and you having some expectancy knowing that it could happen, it still is a lot to kind of process. Because if you think about it, when you come into the season with a head coach, you think that, like, at least for that season, he's going to be there, right? And you kind of mentally, you're set knowing that, like, okay, yeah, this is our head coach through thick and thin. Wins or losses, this is what it's going to be. And obviously, the way things have gone this year, some things that you can't really explain, it's, you hate to see it happen, but at the end of the day, it's a production-based business, and, they had to make the decision that they had to make. And I think, as far as how I feel emotionally about it, we got 5 games left that we would love to win, all of them, and they're all very winnable. With the team that we have and the way how resilient we are and how we fight back, I mean, it's just football situational things, especially towards the end of games where we've lacked. And, you never know what play is going to be through the course of 60 minutes or sometimes overtime. You never know what play is going to be. And so, I don't know, man. It's tough, right? Like, you're on this losing streak in a situation where you can potentially be pointing fingers. We're not doing that as teammates. Obviously, upstairs, they have to figure out a way to continue to, get us prepared to go into these games so that we feel confident. And that's really what we're leaning on at this point, is just finishing strong. Going out there, putting our best foot forward, and handling it as it comes.
All right, we'll talk about the game in Detroit with your teammate, fellow captain. He's Tremaine Edmunds, Bears linebacker, and he joins us here on the Big Dog Show. Tremaine, thank you for taking time. I know you and Sadie's are tight. We were just going over the fact that you have a new head football coach, Thomas Brown, after Flus was fired. But let's go back to Detroit, because second half, man, you guys do a really good job defensively, offensively. Caleb throws 3 touchdowns. Here come the Bears. And then it melts down at the end. What's your perspective on everything you've seen?
Yeah, first off, man, appreciate y'all for having me. Big Dog, it's my guy for sure. So definitely appreciate y'all, man. But yeah, I mean, a lot of emotions, of course, obviously more than, anybody probably can imagine. But, I think just the key thing is now is just, doing the things that we did, in particularly second half, and starting off the game fast like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to say at the end of the game, I wish this, I wish that. But I think the main focus is coming off playing the same way that we played, because I'm pretty sure on both sides, a lot of guys will say, we didn't in particularly play our best ball. You know what I mean? We could have played, a little bit better to put us in a position that it didn't have to come down to those final lines. I mean, you can use all different type of perspectives, man. But I think the key thing is just coming out, firing and coming out fast and, not waiting to, get things going, man. But like I said, just to answer the question, man, I think it's a lot of emotions. Obviously the way that it happened, you know what I mean? It's easy, like I just said, to when the game is over to be like, man, I wish this would happen, I wish I would have done this. But, I think that's what all competitors do. You know what I mean? You think about the plays that you didn't make rather than like the plays that you did make. And, I think a lot of guys would just felt like that. A lot of guys just want to win. A lot of guys, it's a lot of wear and tear on the mind, on the body, man, when you lose close games like we've been losing. So it's definitely tough, man. Emotions definitely all over the place. But, we focus on this week, man, and trying to go 1-0 this week.
Yeah, Cap, that was actually a good question, obviously, but like right after the game, like normally I take some time to kind of decompress. If I'm gonna post on Twitter or post on my story or whatever, but right after the game, I had to let it out, and I said something to the lines of, even after 19 years in this beautiful sport, it never ceased to amaze me, right? Like my first 12 years in Jacksonville, I mean, that gave me all of the experience and adversity that I thought that I would ever be a part of. And, fast forward to this season, we've lost, at least six games that in different ways, right? And like, I think that's the part that hurts is, when you come into work every day, and, they lay out the plan. Obviously, you go to practice, you do your walkthroughs, you go through your drills and all of that. And most of the time, the walkthroughs are situational football. And more importantly, the ending of games, the ending of the first half, the ending of the second half. How do you want to finish the game? And what will we do in those situations had they arise? And like, literally, it's come up. And we just have been a beat behind every time when we in those games where we're losing like that. And I think that's the part that's most frustrating and sometimes makes me sick to my stomach, is because the team we have, like literally, you only got 2 or 3 years with this roster that we have, right? Like you can't bullshit. It can't be my bad. It can't be we'll get it next time. You can't, because it's not going to be like this next time. And the only way you're able to keep most of the guys is by winning, right? You re-sign guys and bring guys back to new contracts and things like that. And you can sometimes stretch windows from 3 years to 6 years and vice versa based on how much you're winning. And like, it would be just a shame for this to go to waste. Like it's Cap, I've told you before, like this is one of the most talented teams I've been on. And from an athletic standpoint, I think mentally, and then how close we are. Like, I mean, yeah, if you go on, like you would not see more guys putting their arms around guys, dapping guys up, inviting each other to dinner, coming over to the house than our locker room. Like we care about what's going on in the product that we put out there in the field, and understanding that if we know each other better personally, that's going to lead to success, even more success, because I know I can trust Tremaine because of the time we put in together, right? Or if I'm working out and I'm going to go recover, I'm tapping in with Tremaine like, yo, you trying to get this sauna and this cold tub in? Like, that's just another opportunity to really like break bread and pick his brain and vice versa, and try to like convey that message throughout the team. Like, it's just things like that we do naturally that I haven't been a part of. And yeah, it just sucks to be in this position right now where we're like reeling, trying to figure out, what's next, or what next year is going to look like, or who are they going to keep from a coaching standpoint. And it's a lot to deal with right now.
Tremaine, any thoughts on what Big Dog had to say?
Yeah, I mean, I think he hit it on the head, man. Just the camaraderie that we have, man, it's second to none. I know Big Dog been a part of a lot of good teams. I've been a part of some good teams, and I mean, the camaraderie is second to none. You know what I mean? It's from going to each other's house to even just how we just, how we are like around the building. I mean, it's not just in the classrooms, man. Like you said, like if we getting treatment, like we talking ball, we just chilling, we getting to know one another. You know what I mean? You're finding out more about your teammates, all the little stuff that people on the outside may not really understand. Like, this is what goes on a day-to-day basis. And like you just said, man, I mean, even with the position that we in, man, you would think people are in the locker room pointing fingers and doing this type of stuff. But to be honest, I really think that we're becoming closer as a unit. You know what I mean? We're having more conversations. We're going out to eat a little bit more. You know what I mean? I want to find out about you and your family a little bit more. And like, that's the kind of stuff that keeps you going. You know what I mean? It keeps your head down and that makes you motivated for the next week. And I mean, I know in my 7 years, man, it's definitely a tight knit group. You know what I mean? From top to bottom, as far as, you know, the guys that's in that locker room, man. And I think that's what you appreciate the most as a player.
Yeah, the adversity is bringing us together.
Facts.
And it's doing the opposite of what is natural, right? Naturally, you want to kind of do this, but we've come together and we didn't need a coach to tell us to do that or keep it tight, so to speak. Like, this is just who we are and it's what we built. And it's just truly unfortunate. Like, we put in way too much work and we're one of the hardest working teams out there, right? Like, throughout the season, when coaches had like a decision to make between pads and no pads, we're the team that's putting on pads. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, we're not cutting corners is what I'm trying to say. And all I want is for everybody to feel success and feel what it feels like to reap the benefits of the hard work and the things that we're doing and the extra things that we're doing to be better. And the fact that hasn't happened and, you know, watching the film back, like, it literally makes me sick because it's always 2 or 3 plays. And in our case, 1 or 2 plays at the end of the game between being 8-4 or 4-8, like, that's crazy to me. Like,
Crazy.
I can't.
So is it fair to say, because I sit here, I'm not in your building, but I've been around this team a long, long time, you're going to look back and go, oh my God, Washington, Green Bay, Indianapolis, flat spot against a bad New England team, the Minnesota game, the Detroit game. Like, how did we not go to the playoffs?
Like everything that you just said, all that you just named, we literally had control over all of that.
All of it.
And like, football is a sport to where, like, it's not much you have control over, right? Like, everybody has to be doing their 111th for it to be a good play, right? Just a positive play, positive yards. Because if one person's not doing something, at least on offense, that could be a negative play. And obviously on defense, like, if somebody doesn't fit correctly, or if the communication is off in the second and third level of the defense, like, it's just like that. And like, we've played in games where we've been solid, and then literally when it matters most, it's just like, well, there goes the game with 3 seconds left, and a blocked field goal, or, you know what I mean? It's just,
right.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. Like, this is literally a movie. And when I write a book one day, it's going in there for sure.
Oh, it's getting its own chapter.
No doubt.
Tremaine, away from Eberflus and all of the negativity, unfortunately, at 4-8, tell us about you and your time here in Chicago. I mean, I remember when the draft was being held, your name was being talked about for the Chicago Bears, and then coming out of Virginia Tech, you end up with the Buffalo Bills, and then free agency hits, and they're like, we need a really mobile, quick, athletic linebacker. Bam, the first thing they do, I think it was like $72 million. There we go, got him. So take us back through your history, how you got through the NFL and here.
Yeah, don't make me feel too old, man.
I got you.
Nah, but it's been good, man. Just looking back on it, you know, obviously in 2018, you know, Buffalo drafted me there first round, and you know, it's when you spend 5 years in a place, obviously it's a little bit like, man, what's the next move got for me? What's the next spot, you know, looking like as far as my future? But it's nothing but thanks and gratitude to the people over in Buffalo for giving me my first opportunity, man, for giving me my chance to, come in this league and make a name for myself. I really think that was just the mindset coming out. I was already a young guy. I got drafted at 19 and turned 20 that next week. So it's more so like, I'm putting my workman hat on and I'm getting to work. You know what I mean? I'm demanding this respect by how I work day-to-day basis, you know what I mean? And the guys are gonna feel that. So I really think like has been my mindset since day one. And like even now, you know what I mean? Like nothing is gonna change because that's who I am as a person, who I am as a player. Like it's almost like the underdog mentality, you know what I mean? A lot of people talk about it, but that's really my approach to everything. I don't look at all the stuff that comes behind it. It's like, nah, I still got this I want to prove. I still got this I want to accomplish. And I know what it's going to take to get there. You know what I mean? And I can't just say just me. I've been surrounded by great guys. And I mean, like, great guys. Obviously, Big Dog is one of the best leaders I've been around. You know what I mean? And how much game, how much wisdom he gives me just off of basic comment. It could be something as simple as like the music we listen to. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I can vibe with Big Dog. You know what I mean? I'm 26 years old, but we still in here vibing. We still got this connection. And, I've been around some great guys, even in Buffalo, you know what I mean, that was older than me, that I could just sit back and I can just kind of pick up game from. And, I think that's just, to answer your question, getting me to this point, just kind of, being a student, you know what I mean? Being a student from the guys that has done it from a long time, I ask Big Dog questions all the time. And even if it's a question I may have asked him a month ago, I may have forgot. So I'm gonna ask again, you know what I mean? And I try to tell everybody like ask questions, you know what I mean? Like Big Dog has played 19 years. Like I would be a fool not to ask him questions, you know what I mean? Like if it's something that's on my mind, like I'm gonna ask him. He's been through it before.
No doubt.
So I think that's just the mindset, man, and that's just how I try to approach every day because I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be things that comes up, and I'm like, yeah, that's in 7 years this ain't never come up. Let me see what Big Dog thinking. You know what I mean? Just because of experience is the number one teacher. So somebody that's been through something, obviously are gonna see things from a different lens, and perspective always drive your performance.
Yeah, I mean, bro, first of all, keep that about you. I think that's just underrated in general as far as just asking questions. I think, in the society that we live in, it's like a social reconstruction for people to get annoyed by, when you ask questions. Like,
Right.
I don't ever want to be the smartest in the room. If I'm the smartest in the room, I'm in the wrong room, right? Like, if I feel like I know everything in that room, then I need to walk and move on to a different room. That means I need to elevate up, right? And I think as far as like my leadership style, I think you're like literally a carbon copy of how I lead, and you have a knack for knowing what needs to be said, when it needs to be said, in the tone that it needs to be delivered in. But more importantly, you lead by how you work. And I pride myself on that. And then for, the second part of that is how do I put this? I feel like football has taught me so much about myself, right? Not just, yes, I feel like I'm a really good football player because I've been doing it for so long, but like I'm a better person because I've gone through what I've gone through in this league. And, I mentioned earlier playing 12 years in Jacksonville and having all that adversity and not really having too much success there, right? We didn't win as often as I would like to win, but as far as a person and what it's taught me coming out of that, now I'm able to give it back in a way to where all the young guys that I'm able to reach and talk to now are going to be better off than I was when they're coming up. And, this is just another one of those situations, right? Like definitely haven't won the way we would like to win. Obviously head coach gone, now trying to figure it out. And now this is going to be the biggest opportunity for us to lead now, right? Like it's now it matters that much more. And just to continue doing what we're doing and continue to lead by example in these last 5 games, like we still playing for something. Like this is, if anything, you playing for that name on your back, right? Sure. Like this is what it's all about, right? For football, if everybody could do this, everybody would be doing this. But guess what? Everybody can't do it. And that's why we get paid what we get paid to go out there, regardless of circumstances, regardless of the things you can't control, to go out there and compete. And, just another opportunity this weekend to do that. So appreciate it, bro.
So let me ask you guys both. You're both first-round draft picks. Big Dog, can you tell me who was taken right before you in the 2006 NFL draft?
Oh, my God. You know what's crazy? I thought you were going to say what tight end was taken, but obviously I was the second tight end, so that would have been easy. It was Vernon Davis who was taken before me as the first tight end.
Right.
Vernon, he's my guy, but just as an all-around tight end coming out, I thought I was the best all-around tight end coming out, but he ran that 4.39, and that wiped everybody off the board.
Yep.
4.39 and tight end, crazy.
Come on, man. Now let me think. I went 28. The Bears had the 24th pick, correct?
Bears had the 26th pick, and they traded it.
Okay, so Bears had 26.
Yeah.
Did Tampa have 22 that year or 23?
22 was San Francisco. 23 was Tampa.
And Cincinnati.
Then Cincinnati. Then Pittsburgh.
And
Buffalo.
Wait.
Carolina. Jacksonville.
Who did Pittsburgh get? Santonio Holmes?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Pittsburgh, then Carolina, then Jacks?
Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Carolina, Jacks.
Was Buffalo a D lineman?
Yeah, John McCargo from NC State.
Okay. I remember as a D lineman, but I don't remember who he was though. Wow. How long did he play in the league? I feel like John McCargo. Was he a D tackle?
I'll look him up while you try and tell me who went the next pick. Then it was you.
Oh, man. Give me a hint. Give me what position?
Running back.
Oh, from Memphis?
Yeah, D'Angelo
Williams. Yeah, I just needed a little help. I'm like, wait, who? Okay.
John McCargo played, won a very successful career. He went 5 games, 16 games, 7 games, 11 games, 1 game, 4 games, out.
Blew it.
Gone.
Blew it.
Yeah, so it was D'Angelo Williams, then you, and then Nick Mangold, who I thought actually was a really good player too.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay, so Tremaine, 2018 NFL draft. Who was the second pick in that draft? Baker Mayfield went 1. And then who went right before you?
You said the second pick of the draft or before?
Yeah. Second pick and who went right before you?
So Baker Mayfield was 1. I want to say Saquon Barkley was 2.
Yeah, he was. Saquon Barkley went 2. Sam Darnold went 3. Yeah. Denzel Ward 4. And Bradley Chubb 5. Bears took Roquan Smith at 8. You went 16. Who went 15?
Oh, man. That's me here. I want to say it was an old lineman, right?
It was.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Colton Miller from UCLA went to the Raiders.
Wow. I knew it was an old lineman. I couldn't remember his name.
It was a really good draft. It went Baker Mayfield, Saquon, Sam Darnold, Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen went 7th.
Yeah.
Roquan Smith, Mike McGlinchey, Josh Rosen from UCLA. Sorry, Big Dog.
Wow.
That one didn't go well. Nah. Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, Daron Payne, Marcus Davenport, Colton Miller, Tremaine Edmunds, and then Derwin James went 17.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah,
Jair Alexander, 18.
Yo, that's a good draft.
Yeah, that's a great draft. Dogs, bro. That is a great draft.
Yeah, we got some.
It's hard to. I'm so far removed from my draft class. Like when you asked me that, like my mind literally was like,
God, yeah.
I have no idea.
And in Tremaine's draft, the 32nd pick was a trade back up into the first round. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
My draft was crazy. My draft was crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
Crazy.
Crazy. Lamar.
Lamar is sitting there at 32.
First round.
You said what, man?
I said, was that 5 or 6 quarterbacks first round?
The first round, so you had in your draft, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold is 2, Josh Allen is 3, Rosen is 4.
And it would have been 5 with Lamar.
5 with Lamar. That was 5 quarterbacks in the first round.
Yeah.
The Josh Rosen thing was crazy, man. Sometimes it just pays just to do your job, man. Just work your ass off and all the extra talk, because people don't understand, man. Like, this game is unforgiving, bro. And just because you did something in college do not mean that shit is about to transfer over. Like, it's not. Certain things will. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I think some young guys that are coming out, they underestimate just that ability to kind of, like, for the older guys to, like, nullify things that you would get away with normally in college just because you're more athletic, right? Like, mentally, if you don't study enough, if you're cutting corners, like, you're gonna get exposed, bro. Like, this is not, and I'm saying this because I'm 40 years old, right? When we go into games, I'm pretty sure that those dudes that I'm blocking are like, oh, I'm about to tear this up. No, you're not. It's not happening, bro.
Right. Yeah, it was funny. Tremaine, I was telling Big Dog, we had dinner one night. There was a Bears quarterback 25 years ago. He literally is calling out the play, and whoever the center was back in the day turned around and goes, we ain't got that in our playbook, because he did no homework, and he wasn't in the league very long. So it speaks to that. If you had a weekend downtown and you were going to go hang out, what are your favorite things you'd want to do in Chicago? Favorite restaurant?
Man, I heard y'all talking about it before I came on. Brevette's is one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. That's one of my go-tos.
So good.
I guess when you can get a reservation there, but it's definitely one of those spots. I'm probably gonna go there, just relax. The ambiance nice. The food is really good.
Yep.
They got the music in the background.
I'm telling you, like, it's real chill, like, it's laid back.
Neo soul. Yesterday I was playing like some 90s hip hop and R&B. I said, I'm in the right spot.
I'm telling you, I don't need too much. A nice meal. They got like the Broadway stuff. If I can catch a nice little show downtown, I might go to a show or something like that. Just chill. And I'm telling you, man, I'm real. Like,
he old school, Cap. He like me. He's old soul.
Old soul.
I don't need too much.
Do you guys play fantasy football at all? I know Josh Allen said after the game last night, yeah, I started myself. He had 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, I don't play it, me personally.
Yeah, no, I don't really get involved in fantasy football.
Yeah. In terms of who you guys have watched this year, if you had to pick a team out of the AFC and a team out of the NFC, I've got Detroit and Buffalo playing in the Super Bowl, but I actually have the Bills winning the Super Bowl. What do you guys think?
I'm going to be honest, it's kind of hard to tell. Like, these last 5 weeks important for a lot of teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be honest, it's kind of tough for me to call it right now. I don't know if Big Dog got somebody, but it's tough for me to call it.
Big Dog?
I will go with Buffalo, too.
They're really good, man.
Yeah.
That quarterback's got to be the MVP.
Yeah.
He's having an amazing year.
I will go with Buffalo. Are we talking about just making it to the Super Bowl or to win it?
I have Detroit and Buffalo making it.
Okay. So I got Buffalo making it. It's going to be between Detroit and Philly.
Yep.
I would give Philly the slight edge. And if it's going to be in a dome. So if it was Detroit, I feel like Detroit would probably win that in a dome versus Buffalo. If it was on grass, I would give it to the Eagles. Like, I would say either Detroit or the Eagles will make it, but obviously it's going to be in a dome. But if it was on grass, I think Philadelphia would take that. I don't know if Detroit would be able to get that done on grass, but I think Goff plays his best ball inside.
He's pretty tough, man.
I know.
Before we wrap this all up, if you guys had a night at home and no football, no film, no sports on TV, would you watch a movie? Would you just listen to music? And if it was a movie, what movie would you want to watch that you've already seen?
Man, we're both music guys, so I'm gonna just put that out there just for everybody to know that me and Tremaine are probably the most. When you talk about crates and catalogs, like we're probably the most musically inclined guys on the team. All right, so I'll just put that out there.
Always be vibing for sure.
I am a movie guy. I love watching a good movie. Fuck, man, this is tough. Because if I have only one thing, just music for the rest of my life, if I'm on an island, just give me my music. I'll make my movie in my head based off the music that I listen to. Okay. But since we're talking about just being at the house, I think I'm gonna watch Dark Knight Rises.
How about that? How about you, Tremaine?
I'm a Bane guy. Yeah, I think that's it.
For sure. No, that's smooth. Like I said, man, yeah, we'll definitely vibe off the music for sure. Outside of the music, I don't know. I feel like I'd probably watch a show. Like I'd probably binge watch a show more than a movie. But if I had to choose a movie, man, I'm gonna give you 3 because I like all 3. I'm gonna probably any of the rush hours on, man. I'm just gonna sit back, have a good time, laugh a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm cool, man. I think any of the rush hours, like it'll get you through whatever because you're gonna laugh a little bit for sure.
no doubt.
I've never seen any of the Rush Hours.
You gotta add that on your
Gotta
list.
check it out.
Add that on your list.
I absolutely will. Guys, Big Dog and I will wrap it up. Tremaine, thank you for taking time for the Big Dog Show. And here's hoping the last 5 games are what you guys want it to be.
Appreciate you, Kev.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Tremaine.
Appreciate you, bro. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, sir, bro.
All right, bro.
All right, Big Dog, let's wrap it up this way. San Francisco is banged up. It looks like McCaffrey might be done for the year. They just got whacked last night, 35-10. I feel like there's going to be a bounce with Thomas Brown there. Do you feel that and feel like, hey, man, it's like a reset button, 5 to go?
Yeah, I mean, it's you see what happened when he took over the play calling, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only going to get better from there, right? So he texted me after he got the news that he was being bumped up as the interim head coach and was like, appreciate what you've meant to the team. I'm excited to go to work. Keep leading the way you are, Big Dog. We leaning on you. He was like, and for me, same guy, different position, right? He's such a dude. Like his presence, his open mind and open heart approach to be collaborative, to get things done is what we all lean on and what you can expect. He's the same guy every day and has been that way every day. And the guys are going to play hard for him. So I'm looking forward to coming in there this week and seeing what new wrinkles we have and get to this film. Because, yeah, San Francisco is banged up, but a lot of respect for them. They still have their systems in place. And, you know, this is the NFL. So, you can't not prepare for a team either way. Like, you have to be on your game. So just looking forward to it, man.
Last thing I have for you, as you go back to work and you guys game plan, you come off a Thanksgiving weekend where you got to relax and all that. How was your Thanksgiving dinner? Where did you go?
It was good. So me and Keenan Allen went to Caleb's house. And then Caleb's chef cooked this big old meal, like something off a TV show. Like I'm talking about, I'm not necessarily a turkey guy. I'm more of like a honey baked ham with the pineapple and the glaze and all of that. But they, had the turkey, had the ham, every side dish that you can think of. They had like one of them was like dressing with like sausage in it. And then another one was just like dressing, just regular dressing. And then obviously like mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, sweet potatoes, greens. Like it was amazing. I'm like a portion guy. So I literally got my plate and was like, a little of this, a little of that, a little of that, a little of that. I didn't overeat, but it was amazing. I had a really good time.
Any desserts? Any good desserts?
For dessert, I had apple pie with salted caramel ice cream. So, yeah, it was fire.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. Well, we're thankful that we're with you. And here's hoping next week when we do this show again, we're talking about a win over the San Francisco 49ers.
We need it, man. We need it. We put in the work, bro. Like I wouldn't, regardless of like us doing a show and talking back and forth, I'm always gonna keep it real. And if we didn't put in the work, if it was guys that were 1 foot out the door, like I wouldn't even talk like this. Like I wouldn't even feel comfortable talking like this. But we put in the work. We're absolutely excited to go in there and finish out strong, starting with this weekend. And let's see what happens. But I appreciate that.
All the best.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. There he is, the Big Dog Show. Thank you to his special guest, Tremaine Edmunds. For Marcedes Lewis, I'm Cap. We'll see you next week. Take that.